Now we're going to put this into repeat on Photoshop. How exciting is that? Yes. Okay. Oh gosh. So again, a little tired today, but there's a tool. The first thing we want to do is, actually we should just flatten this. I'm going to flatten it. I wonder if you don't have to anymore. Probably do. I'm just going to double check. I know, well, I was going to see if my other trick will work without flattening it or not. I don't know. Okay, so Cindy, how do I flatten it?
Layer, flatten.
Boom. Back to one image. Okay. Now we are going to split it. So I believe it is a filter. And it's just not special enough to get its own category for some reason. So they filed it under other, which blows my mind as a apparel designer. Everybody needs prints on fabrics. It's super important. He should have his own category, but he doesn't. Offset. Okay. You get to choose how much you want to offset it. So what is going on is that it's basically taken your image, like if it's a piece of paper, it's cut the piece of paper in half and flip it. So the part that you cut in half, one is the left side and the other one's the right side. So if you were to tile it, they would tile perfectly. Okay, so you can decide where you see where the offset is right here. See where it's getting cut because that flower was over here. Yeah. Oh, can you not see it? Oh yeah. Go ahead. Let me cancel. I went to filter. It's a filter. And then I somehow remembered that it's filed under other. If you forget, go to Google. I do it all the time. I just can't remember it. I'm like, how do I make a print in Photoshop real quick? And it comes up pretty fast, and that should ring a bell. But it's filter. It's a filter. So memorize it now. Then choose other, and it's offset. Offset. So just try to memorize it right now. Write it down 10 times, and maybe you'll remember it forever. But if you do ever forget, go to Google. You'll be surprised how quick some tutorials will come up.
I didn't see where the line was. Is it giving
Okay.
you a preview when you're putting in these
Yes. So here we go. I'm going to move it right here. So see this thing? He was over here. I'm going to uncheck the preview. See? He was here.
Oh.
So what happened was it got cut where this flower is. This flower got cut in half. And the part that was right here got moved to this side, and this part all got shifted to the edge of the plate. So it's really like taking a piece of paper right here and say this card is my artwork. I'm gonna cut it right here. I know this matches up for sure. And then it moves it like this. That's what it did. You see that? Now there's a line where it doesn't match. But if I were to tile it, this edge would line up perfectly with this edge if it was tiled.
What do you have to be thinking about when you decide where that line is?
For me, I just want it somewhere in the middle so that, because now I want to go in and clean that up. Now I want to redraw this edge so it looks good. So to me, I don't really care where the cut is as long as it gives me some room to do some more drawing. So here that's not good because it's really giving me very much room to do drawings.
Well, so in an open space, if
Yeah.
you could.
Yeah, I like about halfway. It's fine by me. To me, the hardest part is getting the left and the right side to line up, and they're gonna match right now. So now you just gotta go ahead and clean the middle.
Do you decide where it cuts it, or does it do it automatically?
It does it by where I drag this line. So here, oh, actually, yeah. So where the cut, if I drag this line, now this little flower got cut. He got cut. If I move this thing, the big flower over here got cut. Like that's where they, on the piece of paper where they cut it. Here. Let me try something else. Let's put some numbers on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, so how do I go to the offset filter? Alright,
Can you
let's try it.
flatten it again?
You're right, look at this. I gotta flatten it. Okay, I'll just say, I'm just gonna flatten it. It's at the bottom. Okay. So let's say I move this little guy a little bit right here. Okay, it cut right in between the 9. It took the where number 9 was and took scissors into number 9, and it put one of the 9s on the left and the other part of the 9 on the right. If I move the little poker here, it took my number 2 and it cut my number 2 in half. And it put the most of the number 2 over here on the left side and the rest of the number 2 right here. Okay? But then now I got to go clean up this mess here that's now in the middle. I know our eyes are trained to think, oh, you're an edge. Well, yeah, you used to be an edge, but you're not going to be an edge anymore. So I got to go clean and finish this, and now this is my new middle. And I know my edges line up perfectly. You see it at all? Okay. We'll find out in about a half hour when you do this, if you see it early. Okay. So we want to do this vertical too. This will only tile my left and the right, but we want to tile the top and the bottom as well, right? You want that to be in repeat too? Okay, so this flower now matches. You can see where it got cut here. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay. Here's the hard part is now I gotta go in and redraw my middle flowers so they don't look weird, right? So I guess what, probably should have actually copied one of these flowers so I had it on my clipboard and I could just paste it right on top. That would have been kind of smart.
There's not enough room in those big flowers.
Yes, I got to redesign it, so that's going to be the hard part. So maybe I'll select this guy. So I have my little lasso tool for selection purposes. And I wonder if it'll let me move it. It's going to create a hole if I do that. You know what? And then the white's all around it, so that's not good. I'm going to say Command Z. Okay. So I want to deselect the white background, and I want to just copy this flower. So I'll say select. Actually, where's my selection tool? Where's my magic wand? No. Where is my wand? Is it just Y?
So you should have
W
kept
wand? Okay.
a copy of this.
Yeah, that would have been would have made my life a lot easier if I kept a copy of it before I made the white background. That would have been smarter. But I can still work with this guy. But it'd be nice if, do you guys, oh, is it, what is the keyboard shortcut for the magic wand? Do we still have that here? Is this it?
Right?
I thought it was
Yeah,
Y.
The selection tools.
This is the newer Illustrator, so, yeah, oh, it's W, okay, fine. So if I hit negative, right? Oh dear, is it not working anymore? Okay, so I'm a little rusty, obviously, on Photoshop. You want to hit negative, so let me see. Oh, here we go. One of these. There it is. Okay, hold down Option. That's kind of hard to remember. I wanted to naturally go to negative, and so I remembered wrong. So it took me a minute to remember. It's Option. I think on your PC it's probably Control. We'll double check. But on the Mac it's Option. And how I know is because I'm pushing it and I say negative sign. Do you see that? So it's going to deselect that white space, hopefully. Yes, phew, I did it. Okay, so now I have just my flower selected.
So you lassoed it,
Yeah.
and then you went to
I'm going to hit Command D to deselect everything. That was the same as going select, deselect. Yeah, I took this little lasso tool. You can take any one. This one used to be my favorite when I used to use Photoshop a lot because it just, it's kind of like little anchor points from Illustrator, so in case you start missing Illustrator. But you just click. So anything in that little shape I made is selected, but I don't want the white selected. So that's when I hit W for wand, and then I held Option for deselect, and just deselected the white part.
You click the white part.
Yeah, because I don't want the background.
Option
And then just click with your mouse. You'll get to do some trial and error today. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'm kind of just putting it on. Is that good? Did I do it right? Okay, zoom. You'll see the zoom tool is a little bit different here. Okay, it isn't perfect because this is kind of ugly. This is not matching. Command Z. Guess what? I hit the keyboard shortcut V. Remember that one from Illustrator to move stuff? So that's nice, it still worked. Okay. You can even use the little arrows on your keyboard if that helps you. Okay, I'm gonna hit Command D. Still not perfect. Okay. Okay, I like it. It's passes my test. I think it's kind of weird here, but anyways, you can actually go in and clean that up too by drawing on it. You can get, I like this, you can do the clone stamp tool. Sometimes I use that, play around with that, but maybe in this case, I'm just going to use a regular paintbrush. I guess the art, oh, this is history. Where's the regular paint? There it is. Okay, my brush tool. So I'm going to eyedrop this white background. And so now I'm going to paint with this white color. And I have options with my brush. It can be opaque. It doesn't have to be, like it can be kind of sheer so it blends better. Some people like that. I'm going to leave it just fully not sheer, not transparent. I'm going to make it bigger. You can have it kind of blurry edges. Maybe I'll do a little bit blurry edges. There's different style paintbrushes you can choose from. There's lots of options. Okay. Yeah, it's when you hit brush, then this comes up automatically. If it doesn't, you can always go window, brush, and then it'll come up that way too if it doesn't automatically come up for some reason. All right, maybe that's actually too big for my taste. I'm gonna make it maybe about 30 something. Okay, try that. Okay, fine. All right, here I go. I'm going crazy. Woo. I'm clicking and dragging. Yeah, I thought it was off. You didn't think it was off there? Let me zoom in. Spacebar because of the hand. See, I didn't like that white line. I felt like it was kind of off, so I'm trying to get rid of that. Maybe I'm being a perfectionist, but what is? Home is? Oh, clone. Yes, I love the clone tool. I didn't really show people that yet. So I think in this case we didn't quite need it, but I will show you the clone tool for fun if you think you need it. Can be handy. Okay. I don't really like the shape of that. This is where you can sit like an artist and really make it look nice. Okay, that I like. See, that's nice. I like that. Okay. Command 0. Get out of here. Okay, well this is not adorable, this weird off-white spot, so I need to fix it. Also, do I really like that this flower's overlapping here? Do I need to fix that?
It's nice, but it's the only one.
Yeah, it's the only one. So it's up to me. Do I want to go with this concept of them all being spaced apart, or do I change my concept of overlap? These are all design decisions you all get to make.
And you can still see the hole where you pull it out.
So let's deal with that hole. I'm going to introduce you to the clone tool. It is pretty fun. Here we go. Again, in fashion design, I did not use Photoshop a ton, but I did play with the clone tool if I needed to, so I'm going to let you guys play around with it too.
If you had much of the knowledge, it would just be pasted.
Yeah, but you still probably have to go and clean up a little bit, maybe. Okay. Great. So clone tool's kind of fun. What it is, it's like a stamp. So you know you have rubber stamp. You have to send out the artwork to make a rubber stamp. So that's what this guy is. He's going to copy your rubber stamp, or whatever's already drawn. But to make the rubber stamp, you hold down Option and you pick what you want to copy. So maybe I want to bring these numbers back. I want to do this flower with 7, 8 on it for some reason. So I'll just click right here. And then watch what happens as I click and drag. What's it doing? Isn't that fun? There. Not fun? So I can hit Option right here. And now if I draw, what's going to happen? It's copying where that cross is. You see that cross? So that's fun. It's a fun little toy. I encourage you to play with it. But sometimes you just need a paintbrush. And paintbrush is just going to be white because that's what I clicked. I dropped white. And maybe I'll make this bigger than 7. Yeah. So anyways, it's going to take you a long time to clean up the middle in Photoshop because you haven't used Photoshop before. How to do it, you're using this paintbrush tool a lot. You're going to be using the eyedropper tool a lot. Oh yeah, eyedropper tool. And the stamp. The clone tool too, you'll be using that as well. You'll also be selecting things and copying it by holding down Option. Okay, so now this is in repeat. It is. There's ways to test it. Should I show you how to test it? See what it looks like? Let's see here. Let's go to Edit, Image. What is it? Define Pattern. Okay. You can name your pattern. Gave me a name. You can change it. Say OK. I can go File New. I think this will work. It must be the same file. So File New. This guy is tabloid size, so let's make my new pattern bigger than tabloid. I'm just going to get crazy and make it 50 inches by 50 inches. That's a little bit crazy. Just to see. Okay, I'm going to hit Select All. Do you guys know how to select all? Yeah, I like Command A because it selects everything. Of course, you could have used any of these selection tools as well to go click and drag. Now we're going to fill it. So Edit, Fill, Content Aware is fun, by the way. Play around with that, but we're not going to use that today. We're going to do a pattern. And they defaulted to this pattern, but I don't like it. I want to use the new one that I just made. It's right there, bottom.
And that saved it because you went to...
I don't know why it saved it. That's true. That's a good question. Okay. There it is. You can't even tell that this is maybe a little messy right there. I guess because I just said Edit, Define Pattern. So I went Edit, Define. Okay. Cool. So yeah, it's in repeat. It worked. Okay. So let's try. So make it like bigger, you mean, or make the art? Okay. Try this file new. Let's do, instead of 50 inches by 50 inches, why don't we make the artboard 500 inches? See, it's gonna get mad at us about that. Select all, edit, fill. Yes, that's the repeat I like. Okay. Ooh, it's big. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to make a repeat that was 11 inches by 17. Maybe I should have made a repeat that was like 5 inches by 5 inches. Yeah, might have been smarter, better size.
So, once you had what you wanted, you went to define, where was that?
Define pattern, it was under image, I think. Image.
And then where did you go to create put it on a...
I just opened up a new file, but you could do it anywhere. You can do it in the same file if you wanted. Yeah.
When you wanted to insert, where did you get it?
Edit, or it was edit or image, can't remember, but yeah. Sorry, it's taking so long. It's mad at me. They're like, really? 500 inches?
So it was image, create.
Oh, brother. It will happen. Any other questions?
Yeah, I just want to know the pathway to that again. So you
Yes.
image, create, define the pattern.
Yeah, once my repeat was done, after I did the offset filter, remember the offset filter? So you start the offset filter, and then you go in and you clean the middle part, with your paintbrush or your stamp tool. Yes, Lois. There you go.
Copy it again, what was it,
Oh, Coption is just holding Option. Just hold Option and hover over. Yeah. Okay. So Cindy, I finish what I just went over. Once it's in repeat, you know it's tiled and it's good. You can define the pattern. So I think it's actually edit. It's edit define pattern, or else it's image.
It's edit
Or image. Sorry, can't remember which one. You're okay. It's edit.
so it's edit define pattern.
Mhm.
Image. When you create the new file, print it whatever you in this box. You go to image, insert pattern, and your patterns there.
I went edit fill. I think fill. Here. Yes.
Edit fill is
No, I don't. If it was like a mask, I could, but not just with that define thing. But yeah.
So whatever size you make in the pattern, that's the best. And so I guess we put it in Illustrator and
Yeah. I mean, you can change the size. It's just a different way. It's not like Illustrator where you just hit the little squiggle and you click it. It's not like that. But you can. It's just a bit more steps. Okay, I cancel it because it took too long. Hold on. Okay, let's just file do. No. Let's do. Hold on. I think because it was 500 inches. So it's edit fill. Sorry, it was not image. Edit fill. Yeah. There we go. There it is. Do you guys see the repeat now? So it's smaller for you. There it is. What a beautiful pattern. It makes me dizzy a little. It's that kind of day today. Okay. So you guys are all gonna make a pattern today. You can use the flowers I gave you. You can get your own artwork, but you need to offset it, clean up the middle, define your pattern. That's our goal today. And then Tuesday, we're gonna color index it, and you're gonna come with 3 colorways and do a final presentation. So we'll talk about how to do color indexing Tuesday. Sound good? Any other last questions? Okay, let's try this.